But that's how it works. Like the Illuminati and all that stuff, like, and selling your soul, and you supposed to keep it a secret in a secret society. That's really the secret.
I know I've been trying to fight for my rights and my royalties for a long time, but every lawyer that I ever had a meeting with or took a meeting with will start the process, and then they'll just disappear. Everybody's scared to go up against Gucci and that.
Things are heating up in the hip-hop world, and Gucci Mane is right in the middle of it. Bre-Z just dropped some bombshell claims that have everyone talking. According to her, the man we know today as Gucci Mane isn't the same person she once dated, and she insists she has proof to back it up. This isn't your typical ex venting online. Bre-Z is suggesting that the original Gucci has been replaced entirely. Naturally, this has sparked one of the wildest debates in music circles. Is she just airing old grievances, or is there a bigger, almost sci-fi conspiracy at play in hip-hop? If even a fraction of what she claims is true, it raises an unsettling possibility. The Gucci Mane who returned from prison in 2016 might not have been the man fans thought they knew. Bre-Z has long shared stories from her time with him, studio sessions, early recordings, and even writing credits she says were never honored. But her recent interviews, particularly on the Bre-Z show, go far beyond the usual "I wasn't paid enough" narrative. Now, she's questioning identity itself. She told Bre that the last time she saw Gucci in person was before his prison stint. Back then, he was wild, unpredictable, and unmistakably himself. But when she reunited with him years later, something didn't sit right. His presence felt colder, his eyes lacked the spark she remembered. To Bre-Z, it was as if the man she once knew had vanished, replaced by a stranger wearing a familiar face.
Whoever this Gucci is, like, it's not the real Gucci, because ain't nothing similar. Ain't nothing. His facial structure, like the way that, like a lot of people like talk about the tattoos, but the main thing I noticed is his facial structure, his lips, his tongue. Yep. Those are these.
Don't get it twisted. Bre-Z didn't just disappear after her split from Gucci Mane. She tried to reconnect, but every attempt ran into a wall. Keshia, Gucci's wife, always seemed to step in, almost like a gatekeeper. Fans noticed it too, commenting that Keshia felt less like a spouse and more like security. When hinted that Keshia was shielding this new Gucci from anyone who might question him, the online conspiracy theorists went wild. Went so far as to suggest that the original Gucci never made it out of prison, and what we see today is essentially someone wearing the brand. Mainstream media largely shrugged her off. Jealousy, old drama, a bitter ex, but there was a strange credibility to her delivery. She wasn't screaming for attention. She sounded like someone who had been holding on to a secret for years. When she spoke about missing credits, industry manipulation, and the idea of replacements keeping the business running, it didn't read like gossip. It read like testimony. The relationship between Gucci and ran deeper than most people realize. She wasn't just an ex. She was a collaborator. In the early days, Bre-Z helped shape Gucci's signature sound in Atlanta, writing hooks, laying reference tracks, and sitting through studio sessions that stretched into sunrise. She was a key part of the machine that built Gucci Mane into a brand. But according to her, everything changed once the fame and money started flowing. Bre-Z spoke openly about unpaid writing credits and missing royalties. The songs she helped create were making money, but she wasn't seeing her cut. When she tried to fight for her share, the system seemed determined to shut her out. Meetings went nowhere, papers disappeared, calls stopped being returned. It was like hitting an invisible wall designed to keep her quiet. And this isn't just about money. Their past included a toxic and, at times, violent relationship. Was not only denied her rightful credit, she was traumatized and erased. That history gives weight to her current statements. When she says the man performing as Gucci Mane today isn't the same as the one she knew, she's talking about more than a face. She's talking about a missing soul. Interestingly, the rumors she's echoing aren't brand new. Ever since Gucci walked out of prison in 2016, some fans swore he looked different. Slimmer face, calmer voice, clearer skin, and a smile that seemed almost unnatural. Memes circulated calling him Gucci 2.0, Reddit threads dissected before and after photos like forensic evidence, even down to his teeth. Gucci laughed it off in interviews, insisting the change was simply him being healthier, sober, and focused. But the internet couldn't let it go. The speculation deepened. Some theorists suggested the new Gucci might even be cooperating with authorities. Fans pointed out that nearly every artist under his 2017 label seemed to land in trouble. Rallo, Puscisti, Fugano, OJ Deechman, even Big Scar before his tragic death. Jokes surfaced that signing with 1017 meant doing 10 to 17 years. Others claimed the cloned Gucci was part of a larger scheme to clean up the streets for higher powers. While none of this has been verified, the theory persists, and Bre-Z's statements have reignited the conversation. Here's Kishia, a constant presence since Gucci's release from prison. Far from just smiling in photos, she's been managing the empire. Interviews, brand deals, and even social media posts. Early praise framed her as the stabilizing force behind his comeback, but as Gucci's public image polished, fans began calling her a handler rather than a wife. Nicki Minaj's infamous rant suggesting Kishia kept Gucci sedated sent the internet into overdrive, reinforcing the idea that she was managing the asset, not the man. In reality, Kishia's role is far less conspiratorial. She's a savvy businesswoman who launched her own beauty line and helped Gucci pivot from chaotic trap icon to a clean-cut luxury brand. But her competence gives her an air of untouchable control, a calm presence orchestrating behind the scenes while Gucci Mane remains the face of the empire. People online have been pointing out for years that Gucci's entire public presence feels heavily managed. His posts look perfectly edited, every caption sounds curated, and every family moment is polished to brand standards. Whether Kishia is simply a sharp businesswoman or something more influential, one thing is undeniable: she runs the Gucci Mane empire. Every endorsement, appearance, and post goes through her before it sees the light of day. But to understand why so many fans believe Gucci was swapped out, you have to go back to the moment everything started unraveling. Long before the luxury outfits, the chiseled physique, and the rebrand, there was a very different version of Gucci Mane, the unpredictable one who broke the internet before going viral was even a term. In 2013, Gucci launched one of the wildest Twitter tirades hip-hop had ever witnessed. No build-up, no context, just pure, unfiltered chaos. He started calling out everyone: Nicki Minaj, Waka Flocka, Birdman, T.I., Drake, Angela Yee, French Montana, even his own Brick Squad family. Nobody was spared. He accused artists of betrayal and exposed behind-the-scenes drama that left the industry stunned. Fans kept refreshing the feed, wondering if his account had been hacked. But it wasn't. That was Gucci in full meltdown mode, raw and spiraling. After that outburst, things only got darker. Arrests started stacking up. Atlanta police reported him acting erratically in traffic, threatening people, and fighting officers during an attempted arrest. They found substances and a firearm on him, adding to his already deep legal troubles. This time felt different to fans. It felt like the end of the road. The chaos, the outbursts, the instability, everything pointed toward a man losing control. That arrest sent Gucci to prison, and to some fans, that was the last time they saw the real him. Because when he walked out 2 years later, he didn't just look clean. He looked like a completely rebuilt person.
Calm, lean,
focused, corporate even. And from that moment, people online never stopped asking, what exactly happened to Gucci Mane behind those walls? How did the wildest man in trap come out looking like a luxury spokesperson? To many, that kind of transformation didn't feel natural. It felt engineered. And that belief fueled the clone Gucci theory for years. Gucci has addressed it repeatedly. He said prison gave him space to detox, clear his head, and rebuild his life from the inside out. He spoke openly about quitting lean, improving his mental health, and committing to fitness. According to him, his glow-up was discipline, not duplication. But not everyone buys that explanation, and Bre-Z's recent statements reignited the conversation just when people were finally letting it fade.
To the wild, the pictures come out and say Gucci's a clone.
Yeah.
Did that make y'all laugh, or do y'all die laughing when y'all see the clone Gucci? I didn't used to like it at first when I first got out. I felt like it's discredited everything that I had been working so hard.
And strangely enough, her comeback was sparked by none other than Cat Williams. Bre-Z said she felt compelled to speak up because Cat opened the floodgates first. Cat Williams made me do it, she said. I fear nothing but God. I'm not scared of the Illuminati, the industry, none of it. When Cat went viral earlier this year for unloading a barrage of unfiltered truth bombs, calling out Hollywood power players, confronting Diddy, and exposing what he describes as industry illusions, his words hit differently. It wasn't jokes, it wasn't comedy. It was a man peeling back the curtain. And according to Bre-Z, that honesty gave her the courage to reveal her own truth. He was shining a light on the systems themselves. That fearless, unfiltered approach inspired others who had stayed silent for years to start speaking up, and Bre-Z is a prime example. Following in Cat Williams' footsteps, she's stepping into the truth-teller lane, calling out what she sees as deception in the entertainment world. Cat's recent interviews blew up because he didn't hesitate to name names, targeting powerful gatekeepers like Diddy and others. He painted a vivid picture of how fame can distort people, how influence is wielded to manipulate narratives. Bre-Z mirrors that same energy. She's making it clear she's not afraid to call things as she sees them, even if it means challenging the system. She's also been transparent about her motives. This isn't clout chasing. It's about accountability, about showing fans that not everything shiny in this business is gold. While she hasn't name-dropped other industry figures the way Cat has, her tone suggests she's ready to pull back the curtain on how fame can change someone, sometimes physically, sometimes spiritually. Once Bre-Z began posting about the new Gucci, fans split immediately. Some supported her, saying they'd noticed the same differences for years. Viral comparison photos, the subtle changes in his voice, the way he carries himself on stage. To them, she's simply verbalizing what everyone has been thinking but too afraid to say. Others dismissed her claims, accusing her of bitterness or attempting to ride the coattails of Gucci's polished, prosperous image. But Bre-Z didn't retreat. She doubled down, citing Cat Williams as inspiration, proof that the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, deserves to be spoken. In positioning herself this way, she frames her voice as part of a larger movement, artists and insiders refusing to stay silent about what really happens behind the scenes. Her message, then, isn't only about Gucci. It's about how fame, money, and power can reshape someone to the point that even those who once knew them barely recognize the person they've become. Her words resonate because they bridge two cultural conversations, one about celebrity transformations and the other about the darker, hidden currents of the entertainment industry. Now, Bre-Z's name is being tossed into the same conversation as Cat Williams and other outspoken figures who have made it their mission to bring hidden truths into the spotlight. She is part of a growing wave of voices refusing to stay silent about the undercurrents of the entertainment industry, voices that shine a light on what many would rather keep in the shadows. Whether speaking from lived experience, deep emotion, or a mix of both, her timing is impeccable. The internet is hungry for authenticity, and her willingness to speak boldly feeds that craving. Fans and skeptics alike are watching her words, analyzing every detail, debating every implication, because in an age where celebrity narratives are tightly managed, someone who challenges the story grabs attention. This isn't about revenge. It's not about clout. Bre-Z has made that clear. What drives her is something far more personal: the reclamation of her story, her truth, and her voice. She's someone who lived through the very environment she's now critiquing, a world of glamour, fame, and hidden manipulation, but she experienced it firsthand, not from the comfort of the internet. Her critique is raw, informed, and personal, and that gives it weight. Unlike many who might attempt to gossip or speculate for clicks, Bre-Z's words carry the authority of lived experience. She saw Gucci Mane before and after the life-changing events of prison, before and after the massive transformation that has since become the subject of viral theories and obsessive online discussion. Bre-Z's approach mirrors that of Cat Williams in a fascinating way. Cat is known for blending humor with direct confrontation, using comedy as a vehicle to reveal uncomfortable truths. Bre-Z channels a similar energy, but in her own distinct style, sometimes measured, sometimes pointed, always deliberate. She is weaving truth-telling into a form of protest. By sharing her observations, she challenges not only the narrative around Gucci Mane, but also the broader framework of control in the music industry. In her perspective, fame and fortune are not simply about success. They are tools that can reshape and even erase identities. When someone achieves a certain level of influence, those closest to them, the collaborators, the creatives, the family, can easily be pushed aside or silenced. Bre-Z's story is an example of this dynamic, and she is using her platform to push back against it. The discussion around Gucci Mane's transformation is at the heart of her commentary. Fans have debated the infamous clone theory for years, fueled by stark comparisons of before and after photos, shifts in demeanor, changes in vocal tone, and even body language. To some, Gucci's post-prison transformation reads like a testament to personal discipline, sobriety, fitness, mental health, and renewed focus on music and business. To others, it feels almost unnatural, a complete overhaul so dramatic that it raises questions about whether the man who returned from prison is truly the same person who went in. Bre-Z's contribution to the conversation is particularly compelling because she had a personal relationship with him before his incarceration. She saw the person, the energy, the essence of Gucci Mane firsthand. Her observations are not speculative. They are based on memory, on intimate experience, and on years of witnessing the rise of an iconic figure from the inside. Her words have struck a nerve precisely because they connect two ongoing cultural conversations. The first is about celebrity transformations, how fame, money, and lifestyle shifts can change someone so profoundly that the public perceives them as almost unrecognizable. This is a phenomenon that happens across industries, from music to Hollywood, where pressure, scrutiny, and opportunity intersect with personal identity. The second conversation is about the hidden mechanics of the entertainment industry, the power structures, the unspoken rules, and the individuals who operate behind the curtain. Bre-Z positions herself at the intersection of both. She's talking about the transformation of a cultural icon while simultaneously exposing how the systems around him can influence, control, or even rewrite someone's story. As she speaks, Bre-Z's timing couldn't be more precise. The internet has entered a phase where audiences no longer passively consume celebrity narratives. They analyze, question, and even challenge them. Social media amplifies every observation, every theory, and every contradiction. In this climate, Bre-Z's perspective serves as a spark, reigniting debates that had simmered quietly over the years. People are now forced to grapple with the question: was Gucci Mane's post-prison self the result of personal growth and dedication, or was there something deeper, more orchestrated at play? Bre-Z doesn't claim to have definitive answers, but her testimony introduces a compelling lens through which to examine the entire saga. Ultimately, Bre-Z's intervention in the conversation elevates it from mere speculation to lived narrative. Behind every viral theory, there is someone who experienced the reality firsthand, and Bre-Z embodies that authority. She reminds the public that celebrity personas are not always what they seem, that even the people closest to fame can be altered, sometimes by circumstance, sometimes by design, and sometimes by forces beyond their control. Her story touches on identity, trust, betrayal, and the complex interplay between public perception and private reality. So, after everything, the glow-up, the rumors, the rehab, the viral clone speculation, one question remains: was Gucci Mane reborn, or was he rebuilt? One thing is certain: his story is no longer solely about music. It has evolved into a narrative about legacy, about transformation, and about the delicate boundary between personal evolution and wholesale replacement. Mac Bre-Z's voice is now inseparable from that story, ensuring that the discussion doesn't just die down. She's a living reminder that behind the headlines and viral theories lies someone who knew the truth, lived it, and isn't afraid to speak it. Her words challenge us to look deeper, to question what we see, and to consider the unseen forces that shape the lives of even the most iconic figures.